Welcome all of you back to Lucas Narration. I'm Lucas, and today we're about checking out 2 pensive stories from the Am I the A-hole and 2 hot takes subreddit. And if you love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting the like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, as it really helps out. Now let's crack on with today's story. So, our first story was posted by Reddit user throwaway_firstborn. Her account is now deleted in the Am I the A-hole subreddit. Am I the a-hole for not letting my husband meet our firstborn child? My husband has this best friend, Anna. They've been friends for a long time and dated years ago, mutually deciding that it's best for them to remain friends. I've had no problem with this relationship until now. On the day that I gave birth, Anna's brother got into a car accident. My husband got a call from her in the middle of the night and asked him if he could drop her at the hospital her brother was at, an hour away from us, since she was too scared to drive. My husband agreed, told me quickly while I was half asleep, and rushed out. A few hours later, I had contractions and called my husband. He didn't pick up after multiple tries, so I gave up and called my dad, who drove me to the local hospital 12 minutes away. I was so scared of giving birth alone since I've had about 3 miscarriages and 1 stillborn. My husband promised me that no matter what, he'd be there for me. Guess what? He wasn't. We called multiple times while I was in labor, and when he finally picked up my dad's call when I was giving birth, saying that he'd misplaced his phone in the chaos, my dad informed him that no matter how fast he drives anymore, he's going to miss the birth of his child. Well, my husband took that as he's already screwed up, so it doesn't matter when he shows up at this point. So when he finally came, our daughter was about 5 hours old and I'd already moved to the maternity ward. When he came, I refused to let him see our baby. Did let husband hold and play with baby after discharge because I was so high on emotions and was shaking when I saw him and didn't want it to negatively affect my time with the baby. I wanted her birth to be a happy time and I was already struggling to feed her. My husband was in a bad state and told me to please let him see her, so I told him to stand by the window and held the baby up so he could see her. I told him to then leave and he'll be allowed to interact with the baby at my father's home when we're both well and out of the hospital, and that I was most likely divorcing him. He started bawling and apologizing and defended himself by saying that Anna's brother was in serious critical condition, and although he's fine, Anna needed him. Though Anna's parents were there, she's not that close with them and she was in an unbearable state. I told him that I didn't care and that his daughter had already come second to him and all she did was be born. I'm putting my daughters and my health first and won't let her be sidelined. My husband agreed and left. However, Anna called me later and said that I was being controlling and she'd never met someone as cruel as me for not letting a father see his baby. I told her that my husband made his decision and that this was his doing, not mine. But now, I can't help feeling cruel in my actions and feel like I'm depriving my baby of both her parents being together. My husband sees her a few hours each day now. Am I the a-hole? It's obvious that your husband is having an emotional affair with Anna because she is his priority and not you. Not to mention that Anna felt entitled to call you and yell at you just after you gave birth. Opie, you aren't wrong. And you should consider to divorce him because he might hurt you again in the same situation. Do you guys agree with me? Let me know your thoughts by leaving a comment below. And now let's check out what online people think in the comments. We're starting in the comments with one Reddit user says, "Not the a-hole, let's ignore the fact that he ran to her rescue in the middle of the night while you were that far along in your pregnancy. Any decent husband would make sure to have his phone on him 24/7 when not at home with a wife about to give birth. As soon as he found out you were in labor, he should have rushed to be with you. He chose Anna over you and your daughter. He missed the most important moment in your lives to be there for her. Then he called Anna to complain to her about you. I am not a jealous person, but there is no way I would tolerate his behavior and his obvious putting Anna before you. I would seriously be considering divorce as well. Marriage counseling at a bare minimum. I would also be concerned about his feelings or relationship with Anna." Next commenter says to Opie in this one, "Not the a-hole. All these excuses about his phone totally missed the point. He shouldn't have been running off to support Anna at all. She was supposed to be there to support her parents and brother. She didn't need your husband to support her. You had already suffered 3 miscarriages and your husband chose to prioritize Anna's over his actual wife. And then he decided that his screwing up by not being there for you was an excuse to just stay with Anna? Anna called me later and said that I was being controlling. This really takes the cake. In what universe is it appropriate for her to call and scold you? The fact that she felt it was okay for her to get involved tells you that they are much too emotionally enmeshed for your marriage to survive. Get your life in order and leave them to each other." Opie edited the post to add useful information and explain why she was so mad. She says, Anna's brother was not in a life or death situation. He had serious injuries, but most were concentrated on his legs and arm. He did have a concussion but gained consciousness soon. Anna was there along with both her parents who managed all the hospital stuff. My husband was there as an emotional support for Anna. I did let my husband see our baby right after I got discharged. Edit. Husband saw baby, husband held baby, husband played with baby. I wanted a couple days of rest and bonding with the baby since my emotions were so high and I was afraid if my husband was a continuous presence, I'd get stressed and something bad would happen. I told him as such. They spend time together, but I'm still cold with him. I may still be the a-hole, I don't know, but I'm still so mad at him and it's not the first time he put Anna before me. I can forgive the other times since I could handle it, but this time was the straw. I was so scared to hold my baby because I was paranoid the minute I touched her, something would happen to her and no one was there to comfort me. I only had my dad, but he wasn't in the delivery room, which is why I'm not too keen on forgiving my husband. Also, we both knew the baby was due any time now, so I don't understand why my husband didn't have his phone on him. We even tried reaching out to Anna and she didn't pick up either. After he learned I was giving birth, they already knew that Anna's brother was going to be alright. He spent that time making sure that Anna was okay, feeding her and then waiting for the brother to regain consciousness. He could have come back after seeing his daughter to talk with the brother. He would have made it back in time. She later continued to edit the post and said, So many of you got it wrong. I'm not preventing him from ever seeing his baby. That is stupid and unreasonable. He literally saw her about a day later when we were discharged and safely at my dad's home. He already didn't see her for 5 hours on purpose and put Anna first. I didn't think an additional day would make much of a difference. And it wasn't to him. He was happy to see the baby and he spends time with her all the time. She's 2 months now. And also, I'm not mad about the fact he went to see Anna. I'm mad that he didn't think we were a high priority to rush back to. He left me so quickly in the middle of the night when I was already late. He couldn't have left Anna in the care of her parents and rushed as soon as possible. She's not a child and she doesn't have any mental health issues either. Opie came back to make it clear on some points. So sorry for all the edits. But someone just messaged me this. What if my baby was born a stillborn again? He had no way to know since he and I didn't have any contact after I gave birth. Thank the stars, my baby is healthy and well, but it was a possibility. Op edited the post and added, Thank you everyone for your replies. I think that I was an a-hole for using my child against him and should have told him that he could hold and then asked him to leave. So the divorce is probably going to happen. My brother is looking at lawyers for me. In the midst of this whole mess, this post made me realize I never checked on Anna's brother to see how he's healing because I was so irked by Anna. I called him and he said that he was doing well and will be out of his wheelchair soon. He asked about me and the baby and how I was doing with the split and if I was okay with my husband and Anna. I can't believe I was so oblivious. I thought they had an emotional thing going on because of this, and when I confronted my husband, he denied it and said me and our baby were his priority and he made a mistake and he was being dumb. You know, Anna's brother kindly informed me that he and Anna's parents thought that my husband and I split when I was 7 months pregnant and that Anna and him were back on. He showed up at the hospital as Anna's boyfriend, which is why they didn't bat an eye that he was there and not with his pregnant wife. Because apparently we split. Her brother's procedures were done well before the afternoon, so I don't know that my husband and Anna were doing for all those hours, but I don't even want to know. If you want more details, I can answer in a comment. Thanks everyone for your kind words and advice. I will be moving back home and filing for full custody. I don't want my baby growing up to be like her father or Anna. He can be a fun dad or whatever it is he wants to be. What do you think about our first story? Leave your thoughts down below. And now let's move on to the second one. This story is from a Reddit user whose name is Rainy Day Pen. The story titled, I hate my engagement ring, my husband doesn't know. I, 25-year-old female, and my husband, 24-year-old male, have been together for over 3 years. We got engaged last winter and have been married now for 6 months. I hate the ring. He wanted a traditional engagement, picked the ring himself, talked to my family first, one knee, etc. I showed him many photos of rings I liked, we even shopped together and picked a few we both loved. He ended up proposing with a ring that looks nothing like anything we had picked together. He told me later he showed his mom photos of what I liked and in short, she disagreed. She didn't like that we had picked lab-created or moissanite stones. She also told him the shapes I liked were dated. I guess her engagement ring had one of these dated shapes originally, and she recently spent thousands to have it reset with a big modern pear shape. She pushed him for real diamonds, which blew his budget, so my husband picked a tiny diamond pear halo with stones around the band similar to his mom's, just smaller. I hate it. I struggle with sensory issues and the side stones pinch my fingers. I think about it all day every day. I sometimes have to take it off while driving because it hurts to hold anything. I've worn the ring out of loyalty for my husband since he proposed. I bought my own wedding band and the e-ring is little enough I can hide it in a stack of other rings. I feel like a brat for hating it. It was far too expensive to be as ugly and poorly crafted as it is. I have to have it serviced almost monthly because the prongs on the side bend and snag my clothing. The jeweler I consult with has told me this can't be fixed due to the size. He's warned me that I will lose stones, likely most of them on the band, if a single prong breaks. It's a constant reminder my husband picked his mom's taste over mine for a symbol of our commitment. I would rather have green fingers from something meaningful than this purist crap. What do people say in the comments? Let's check out. This Reddit user says, "You're staying silent to keep the peace. Here's the truth about keeping the peace. The person who is feeling pressured to keep the peace is never the one who's threatening the peace in the first place. Beans Books and More advises. You need to communicate with him about it. Will it hurt his feelings? Probably, but your feelings are important too. He prioritizes his mom's wishes over yours, and he should know that's an issue. If you did something that hurt his feelings, wouldn't you want to know so you could correct it or avoid hurting him again?" This user has the same opinion, saying this, especially because the way he hurts your feelings is continuing to hurt you over and over and over again because he thinks you like it. As an example, if you had a cute nickname for your partner that you thought they loved but they secretly hated, would you rather they go along with it, continuing to hate it, or tell you that they hate this and would rather you didn't? Your feelings are valid, and his mom's are not. This commenter wants to tell Opie in this one. I came to this statement with one attitude after reading the headline, but boy did my attitude change fast. First and most foremost, you are not a brat. At first, I thought you might be a prima donna. But no, you've got real complaints. I'm writing this as the wife of a jeweler, so I do know a bit about these sorts of situations on the technical side. You said that you have to have this ring serviced monthly. Next time you take it to the jewelers, have him or her show you a variety of settings that you like and have the stones reset. Your justification for doing so is that you were afraid of losing stones and were advised to reset the stones. Also, as a wife, I'd be outraged if my husband had gone with a family member's taste in a ring over mine or ours. Best of luck. In response to that advice, Opie says, "This is actually so extremely helpful. I don't really know the right questions to ask, so this is amazing. My jeweler is impressed with the center stone quality, but the rest, in his brutal words, is box store bullshit. I love the idea of resetting the center stone. Maybe a twin setting for the original and a new one? Thanks again." What do you guys think about Opie's situation? If you were in her shoes, what would you have done? Share your opinions in the comments section below. After nearly a month, Opie did come back to give us an update by adding it to the same post. She says, "Thank you all for your comments and support. Everyone says it, but I didn't think this would get the attention it has. A few days ago I stopped wearing my ring. After the last repair, it's in my jewelry box. I have been wearing my wedding band in a stack by itself for now. My husband noticed and complimented my wedding band while I was driving on a short road trip together over the weekend. I explained that my engagement ring pinches bad while I drive, and I decided I would only wear it on special occasions to protect the stones. He's been aware of all of the repairs. He then laughed a bit and told me you could just not wear it at all, keep it for sentimental value. I was a bit taken back, so I asked him if he had purchased insurance for it like we had discussed after we got engaged. He apologized for telling me he would, but he decided it wasn't worth it to him a long time ago. He was waiting for the ring to wear out or for me to stop wearing it because he's wanted to replace it since he bought it, and he wants to upgrade that bad boy as often as he can. In all of my avoidance to protect his feelings, it didn't occur to me that he didn't like the ring either. As I suspected, he honestly thought his mom's taste would be better. The conversations compounded and it made him second-guess himself. After he confessed he didn't like it, I confessed the style isn't mine, and it makes me think of his mom. We laughed together. He explained he's already been saving for something special for a while, but told me to pick myself out something silver I can wear comfortably in the meantime. I'd marry him again with a twist tie. I wish I wouldn't have danced around the fear of hurting his feelings for so long. Live and learn. What's your take on this situation? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our future content. And now see you in the next video.